Yeah, like we do about this time.
What?
Oh,
Well, I
no.
have my thing
No
going.
sound.
What? I
Yeah.
have sound. I wasn't ready for you to suck so quick.
Eric, I suck all the time. I'm sucking it up right now. Sucking it for you guys listening.
Fucking thing sucks.
Sweat Equity Podcast and streaming show #1 comedy business podcast in the world.
Suck my pussy from behind.
Yeah, Lizzo. Pragmatic, entrepreneurial violence with a real raw dog talk.
What?
I'm not even going to go over awards. We have so many. If you want to go check them out, they're on sweatequitypod.com. You want to help out this show without
Yeah, I do.
using any of our sponsors? That's fine. The free way you can help our show out is share this with a friend or a rudderless 20-year-old that needs some kind of dad bod advice.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
No, obviously not.
iTunes, Apple Podcasts, give us a subscribe, rate us a 5-star, write a sentence in there. For the love of God, this takes 30 seconds. Or on Spotify, follow us on there, anywhere podcasts are sold. I'm in a weird mood.
I know, it's so weird.
My cadence is fucking you up.
I know, I don't know.
I'm gonna
I
talk
like it.
and beat poetry now
I like it.
for the rest of the intro. No. Gut biome. Want to check out your flora and fauna of your gut intelligence of your gut? Get 70% off Biome's gut intelligence tests and supplements with our link for health insights. Ooh, sexy. Personalized food recommendations. Ah, yeah, I'm wet. And precision
Did
supplements.
get my attention back.
Maybe some roids formulated just for you. Hit up the link in the description of this episode and you get 70% off. I'm going to order one this week. I'm so excited. I'm going to poop in a vial
box.
and get a
What's in the box?
You're going to have to help
I
me
need
do
that
the blood drop because I won't look. So
Yeah.
I need you to prick me.
Okay.
I only let you prick me.
All right.
But the link for your gut biome test is in the description of this episode. Are you ready to get the party started? Howdy daddy!
What about my sweat equity? Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?
We're if you're watching this video of the episode, we look like
Very
we're
cool.
blind or very cool.
Some people call me Cool Eric.
Oh, nice. How you feeling?
I feel great.
No guest on this one.
No guest.
We're raw dogging it, raw dog.
Pretty raw. It's as raw as it gets.
We need to follow up with our previous guest 2 episodes ago, Lindsay Luttrell, about getting on
Supermarket Sweep. Yes.
Yeah.
We can't stop thinking about it, talking about it.
And
this
since
should be our
we-
audition video.
And since we reminded ourselves, like on Monday, about it, we're like, I've been talking to people about it,
I know.
and they're like, "What's that show?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking?
Fuck
What do you love, Dick? What is
are
your
you-
problem?"
What is your problem?
Like, I was
Like-
like, it was first off sweaters. We should just get those sweaters anyway for
Oh,
just
yeah.
an episode here,
Yeah.
and then
With
really,
the blue name tags.
really make a pitch.
Right.
Get some inflatable.
Yeah.
Products
I know
behind
exactly. Yeah, Diet Pepsi with the old logo.
I mean, if we're gonna pitch, we are the uncouth guests on the
Oh
show.
my God, we'd be the most popular of all time because we would try.
Oh,
We would
dude,
win.
I'd study. I'd moneyball it. We would do
We
tests.
would actually
at
get in like
Publix.
cardiovascular shape for it.
Oh fuck yeah! If there's no other reason to get in shape, I mean, what am I gonna do? Do an Ironman?
Right. No.
Forget
Supermarket
that.
Sweep.
Yeah, we got to get good shoes
Sure.
because
They got to
man,
match.
yeah, but you can't go flashy because if you go Air Force Ones, as
no.
much as I like
Well,
them,
I mean, you go all white, the nursing home nurse style.
look,
Made for comfort,
if you
performance.
if you grew up Mormon and you don't know what show we're talking about, actually, it's probably Mormon's favorite show. Now that I think about it, because it is the corniest show. Like,
Yes, but there's some
Like, even when they-
consumerism angle of
Oh, it's
greed.
It's brilliant. They're like, we'll take Price is Right and make a little Japanese game show out of it, and we'll only have Midwestern couples as the guests on the
Right.
show because they're like, I'm just good to be here, you know?
And the husband has to be kind of a turd.
Yeah, a little overweight,
Yeah, just a little bit.
mustache, probably about 50% of the guys on there.
Preferable.
So if no one knows what we're talking about, if you're a young and listening,
Doesn't matter. We're still going to talk about it for about another 5 minutes.
Let's
probably.
explain it. It is a it's a game show. 3 teams of 2 people, and then the first 20 minutes of the show, if it's a 30-minute episode, you win time, right?
Right. Yes.
So you answer questions to win time in your supermarket sweepstakes.
Yes. It's basically a long, drawn-out Price is Right game.
Right.
Individual Price is Right game.
What's brilliant from a producer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because Price is Right's like, all right, we can have commercials within the show and then have commercials around the show.
Right. The whole thing is a commercial with 1,000 opportunities for advertising. What?
When you realize that, you were like, oh man, I'm dumb.
We're in the wrong business.
So supermarket sweeps like, how much is this thing of potatoes or something? And you're
Right.
like, from Idaho Potatoes, whatever potato brand. And then they guess on it, and you win time to do the sweep. Now,
Right.
I think your max is like 3 minutes you get.
Okay.
I think like
I don't remember
there's
that
not,
part.
not enough questions. Look, this show
I thought
was,
it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds for some reason. Jumps in my mind.
I think that's
But we'll have
what
to look it up.
everybody gets, and then you can add on to it.
I thought they started at 2.
Maybe look, we're old and we're not going to look it up. And
No, let's just keep guessing random numbers.
but for those listening,
There's
the
also a
youngins,
minute and 30.
it was you got to YouTube it. It's worth a YouTube. It's very good high or sick day watching.
Sure. Yeah, be high.
Mindless.
It does help.
And then like it was always is a syndicated show, like Price is Right, but never on the main network. So if you had rabbit ears on your TV, you get NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, and then you have those weird shitty channels you could pick up.
CW.
Yeah, it was always on like that or PAX, I think, here in Florida.
I thought it was cable all day.
Nah, man. Nah.
It was over the air, huh?
Yeah. I definitely remember that because I had a TV in my room because I was a baller. I had a 13-inch VCR combo.
Oh man, I just had soundboard overload on that one to the point where I'm not doing it.
It was
Move
basically
on.
a Christmas gift from Santa. So my parents were like, you don't have to hang out with us.
I had a TV in my room too, you dick.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like mine was like, sweet, a TV. And then later you're like, oh, they just wanted me to just kind of hang,
Yeah.
just watch TV.
No, you can stay in there.
You can stay in your room.
Just stay there.
Yeah. So,
You're coming out. Don't come out.
I mean, I'm not going to brag that symphonic TV I had had tracking on the VCR. So, pretty
That's
big
cool.
deal.
The DJ for videos.
Back to this show was always on like an offshoot, but network channel around the country. I remember asking a lot of friends this. I was like, because it was weird. It's not a ubiquitous thing everywhere, but somehow it was like produced by PBS. It felt like
I mean, what was the host's name?
Roger Lodge.
Was it?
No, I think that's Blind Date. We now have our remote setup to my laptop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can watch. Google it.
Supermarket sweep.
Oh man, this is good.
The pressure. Leslie Jones.
audio
I don't want the
and
new
video.
one.
Leslie Jones might be it though.
Leslie Jones is the new one. She was on SNL.
I feel like that guy's
the
original
big-
name was Leslie Jones.
She's the big black chick.
I know, but it's just a coincidence.
Where are we going? PAX, Lifetime, ABC Primetime.
What? Wait,
Oh.
what are you looking at?
I'm on the Wikipedia, dude.
Where's the original host?
I'm looking for it.
You're
Relax.
on the wrong
supermarket sweep.
It's not like the okay. Well, how did they not have the original? Wait, look on the sidebar. What's
That's
that?
what I was looking for. And then you yelled at me. Give me a host.
Bill Malone. Who's the other? Read that out. The second one.
Bill
Over here.
Malone, 1960s.
No.
Richard Hayes.
David Ruprecht.
David Ruprecht. Shout out
That's
to
him.
Ruprecht. I think our era is more the 90 to 95. Johnny
Gilbert. That sounds right. That sounds right.
Let's check him out. Is he cute?
I mean,
He's still alive. Oh, I bet we can get him on this show.
that would be great.
When you hear the
Is he
beat,
still alive?
think a supermarket sweep. Yeah, he's still alive, dude. It doesn't remind me of the guy I remember, but whatever. Fuck it.
That's not him.
That's
not him.
That's not our era.
No.
All right.
I remember that guy had like I think he had a perm.
Well, while I look this up, explain how the sweep
The
goes.
sweep?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you've earned your extra time, because it's all going to be different. It's rare that everybody has the same amount of time at the end of the qualifying portion of it.
I'll call it foreplay. 20 minutes of
Foreplay, sure. There's the foreplay part. So whoever has the most time
Oh, this is our guy.
goes first.
David Rubrick.
That's what I said.
Yeah. But
That's
go
our
ahead.
man. So they go first. So say you have 10 seconds extra, you get 10 seconds extra in the supermarket itself. Once you're in the supermarket, your goal is to spend as much money as possible.
Right. American
In
consumerism
full
at its
fucking
grossest.
capitalist, you know.
But you had max on stuff. You could only get
You
five
only get
max
five
of
things.
products.
So they all, I don't know how long it took for them to figure out the high dollar items, but eventually there was a blueprint.
You go to the turkeys right away.
You go to
first.
turkeys.
They're the heaviest. You got to get it out of the way.
Yeah, there's the turkeys. It was always batteries. There was always random
Batteries.
like hardware stuff.
Now you got to grind the coffee for an extra $100,
Right.
but you need to do
Can
it
be
while
worth it.
multitasking.
Yes, you have to have one hand holding the bag, and then you got to have your other hand grabbing stuff off
Right.
of the shelves. But you got to keep your cart near you.
So there's-
'cause if it falls off the cart, I think you can't pick it up and put it back in. I don't
So
think.
there's a lot of red herrings around there. So
Right.
some people would call that a trap. Depends on your strategy, but
Yes.
if you can't multitask, then it is definitely a booby trap.
Right. And there was also the bonus items randomly throughout. They were kind of hidden, not really hidden. It was a giant inflatable thing.
Right.
Or a giant whatever.
PBR can,
Yeah.
or A&W root beer.
And those they'd have dollar
Bottle.
values. I think they were different.
They're huge. They're like twice the size of the person.
Right.
And then you had to, when you found one, you like shit your pants.
Right.
And then you had to draw. You basically
You clean
everyone
yourself up.
everyone forgets their cart immediately, like it's a ghetto grocery store.
And they just run to the
abandons
front.
it. Yeah, runs to the front.
Well, it's smart if you're close because the thing takes up a lot of space in your cart. It can be unruly, and if you drop it and you don't have it in your cart when you're back, you don't get it.
Oh yeah. Look, it depends on the team too. Like if I've got a good 40 time, if I can run that back. Oh, and you only get one team member to do it.
I just
right?
remembered that.
That was such bullshit. You should be able to tag in and
Oh,
out.
what?
Like, I can't sprint for a full 3 minutes, but if we were going back and forth, you can get me on some.
Oh
40
yeah,
times.
we do it like hockey shifts.
Right, exactly. Right. That's why they do it.
Yeah.
Hockey's exhausting.
Yeah.
There's
If we can't, I mean, if I'm not gonna be able to do the sweep, I don't want to do it.
well, that'll really be fucked up. Whoever doesn't get to.
Right.
Look, I
For you.
promise if I'm not the guy, I will cheer you on with a blousy sweater.
All right, sweet. So I get to do it. We decided.
No.
That's what is on
No,
record
we
on the
flip- we
podcast.
flip-
and we
I
can't,
said if
and I edit
I
these
were
things
to
too.
do it,
You don't
I'm calling our business attorney.
call them up.
All right. Wow, that was a lot of hot supermarket sweep talk. But
I was
felt
joking
it was
when I said
necessary.
we would talk about it for 5 more minutes. 9 minutes later.
it deserves its due. I feel like it was one of those things that was everybody watched, no one really talked about because there's nothing to talk about.
No.
From the show.
Now that I've explained it.
It's the same show.
Did I explain? I think you have to be back. So the end of the sweep was you had to be back in the checkout line before your time was up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
If you got caught in the store,
You're
you're fucked.
fucked. Yeah, that's never
What
gonna
he would say.
with our team. Never gonna happen.
David Ruprecht would be like, I'm sorry, but you're fucked.
But also
Did you hear the beep?
we have to figure out an angle because we're both straight white men. So we're gonna have to be like, I was a trans girl.
No, we
guy?
just throw a fit about it.
Oh no, we just
Like,
we
how dare you tell us what a relationship even is or is
Ooh.
not,
now.
or that we're
I
both
think that
we're
holds
men?
up in an argument, but
Right.
as far as selling ourselves, if we come in all combative, like How are you going to tell us we're not a couple of friends?
Yeah.
You know, that isn't.
What are they
Yeah.
gonna do? Sabotage it? We'll be on the lookout for it.
If they find this show, we're not making it on. That's for sure. Like, they'll be like, you have drops of Lizzo saying, suck my pussy from the back.
It's not that. It's
Suck my pussy from behind.
From behind. Sorry.
Suck my pussy from behind.
I misspoke the gospel, Lizzo. All right, real stuff.
all right, let's get serious.
The Rogan hit job is wildly interesting to me. And the more it keeps unraveling, I'm a huge Rogan fan, no doubt. I see him as a very curious interviewer.
Yeah.
And
Great
really,
interviewer.
And really not that much more. He'll have opinions, but it's not. He will say he'll back him. He'll walk him back on other episodes.
He explains his reasoning. He'll explain if he doesn't have all the facts. He's very
if it's about nutrition or fighting or comedy, like you're not
fighting
you
he
can't-
might be.
He's like probably an expert in all three, right?
I would say, fighting, yes, he might be the world's foremost authority on MMA stuff.
And
literally, I don't even know who would beat him.
He knows a lot about comedy, like the whole history of it.
Yeah,
basically
I wish he was funnier
on the show,
on stage, and on the show in general. I think he's really good at what he does. I think he's funny sometimes. I don't think he's like bust a gut hilarious.
I've met him twice.
Humble brag.
Well, I was like a JIT comic, but I always measured those guys when I was like early 20s doing stand up in Green. That like he was nice to me when he didn't have to be.
Sure.
Like there's a lot of like upperclassmen bullshit going on.
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of comics are not team players, but they want that juice.
Or
later.
not cool.
Right.
Earlier in life.
So I talk about Bert Kreischer being very cool to me and helping me out, giving me good advice. He didn't have to do it. That to me is high character shit. I got to see him work out his album in a small room that did a comedy show every Thursday night near the Comedy Store, and that was kind of cool because it's like kind of how Aziz Ansari has his specials now, like real small and like in a weird lodge or something.
Really? The last one I saw was like
No, I'm saying
like an old-
he was working it out, is what I'm saying. Oh, Aziz?
Yeah.
I thought his was like, I'm chill in a ski lodge.
it was
or
like in a
something.
warehouse.
Right. Like, but a
It
weird,
wasn't a normal scenario, but it wasn't small.
an avant-garde setting for
Okay.
stand-up. You know what I'm saying?
Not really, but
But anyway, it's cool. I've seen him work out an hour, which was cool on the process side. All that being said, I listened to the show, and it's funny. The people who have opinions about him, hard opinions about him, have never listened to a whole episode
No.
because it's so daunting. They're like 3 hours. I'm like, you can pause it and come back to it. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not. I mean, honestly, you probably would need more than one episode. You'd have to get to know the guy to know how much bullshit this is. Because it's like, yeah, you and I absolutely, the same thing could happen to us.
I could
so easily,
right.
probably even easier.
I think he's handling it all so well, all things considered. And he's got probably 1,700 episodes. I probably listen. I can bet I've listened to 500 to completion. Yeah, that's right. All over the place.
I don't give a shit.
And so I feel like I know the show,
Right.
And so in early January, if you want to pop up over back to this thing,
Oh, okay.
and I'll bring up Pomp. This guy's Twitter feed's kind of nice. We might need to get him on. He throws out a lot of stats like this, but this one started catching wind about the Nielsen ratings in Q3 2021 that the Joe Rogan Experience has 11 million viewers or listeners, and the next closest from the big media guys, the news channel, Tucker Carlson Tonight, next closest 3.24 million. So basically, this kind of gets manipulated into he's more credible than any news show instead of saying he just has a higher viewership.
Yeah. What?
So first off, Nielsen ratings I don't love because
No.
the way they used to do TV, I really didn't understand it. They
Oh,
used
don't
to-
get me started. Now that I'm in it,
Do it. Yeah, you're in the middle of
Well,
this shit.
it's kind of all silly, really. Honestly, all that whole industry of network TV is stuck in the 90s,
It's
dude.
garbage.
It's
stats.
stuck in the fucking 90s.
So for those that don't know, this is how it used to go. This is how I know it. It used to be a Nielsen family. They'd send
Right.
they'd send you basically what looks like an old cable box.
Yep.
And then it would track everything you're watching. Now they send it out to 100,000 families in the United States. Then they would just extrapolate that data. So
Yep.
they go, all right, there's 300 million people in the U.S. All right, just times whatever the difference is between 100,000 to 300 million, and that's how you get your ratings.
Well, statistically speaking, like it's viable to say, like, if there's a certain number you reach where you don't need any more sampling, like that's a sample, it's going to be a sample of a population. So like that part of it is fine, like just the method of it, but like
I guess way back in the day, sure.
no, I'm talking about like math wise.
No, because like
No, that's absolutely a thing.
I'm
It's like
saying people-
a level of statistical like significance
right sample size.
comes with the sample size. It reaches a maximum for certain things. It's like 1,500 people will give you a say, but it does matter that all it does is that plus or minus goes up and down. The more people you have, the closer it is to zero.
Yeah,
But for what they're doing, like
Standard deviation.
it's fine. But like, you know,
but I just used to hate it when there'd be like 50 million people watch this show, and you're like, fuck, you don't know that. And
Right.
You don't count for multiple people watching one TV.
they don't count if somebody just turns the TV on and leaves the room.
Yeah, what if I play it from my gay dog?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Or your hetero dog.
I don't have one. It's not
I'm
a
talking
choice.
to the audience.
Oh, yeah. The royal you.
Yes.
So that comes out. This Nielsen rating thing comes out. It's Nielsen and Spotify, but I think Nielsen took the because Spotify kind of hides like Netflix some of the stats.
Yeah.
So
Does
then
Nielsen have an angle onto Spotify stuff, or they just
I think they kind of a combo research effort, I guess.
that would be really interesting to see what they do on their end to figure it out.
So that comes out early January. This pisses the Fox News, MSNBC, CNN off. I think. If you really look
Sure,
at the timeline,
why not?
right? Terminator timeline. We're going through it. We're going backwards to go forwards. So in like late January, Neil Young has this weird thing about like, I don't like Spotify and Rogan for misinformation. It's like, what misinformation?
Was that Neil Young?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
Got it.
How do you do his voice? It's like,
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
it sounds like a whiny bitch, just normally. I think it's a PR play because he has his own streaming service. Neil Young's still a name, so he puts it out there. Take me off Spotify because Joe Rogan spreads misinformation. Okay. Well, if you listen to the podcast that everyone's kind of referencing, but I almost forgot this part too. The 300 doctors that signed to petition Rogan's podcast.
All in prison.
You know how many are actual doctors out of the 300 list? Like 40 of them were nurses. Like 50 of them were academic, like PhD. Like the list.
I'm a doctor of philosophy,
So,
thank you.
I saw the list when it posted, and it was like, it broke down all the 300 doctors, and like some of them were like not even in healthcare. It was fucking insane.
Dr. J,
Yeah. Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Dre.
Mr. Pibb, not on the list. But like a lot of that kind of shit. So that happened after the Nielsen rating thing, before Neil Young. Neil Young whines bitches. It seems like a PR play, but leverages that there's a lot of people saying he espouses misinformation. Now there's 2 interviews he's had with doctors. One guy, Dr. McCullough, Rogan interviewed. He had some pretty wild stuff about COVID and what he thought about it. But it's an interview. It's fully an interview. Like,
Right. You saying that guy had wild things to say about it. I know that I should not assume what you mean by wild because there's a 3-hour discourse
Right.
of back and forth of explanation.
Right. Sanjay Gupta went on before that
That quack.
and got fucking annihilated. Like he couldn't explain a lot of just basic things that you would think a doctor.
On Rogan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
Did you
think.
listen to that one?
No, I didn't, but I will for the cringe.
It's worth it. I
He
think.
looks like kind of a dumbass, honestly.
Well, I think they did a friendly kind of like Mexican standoff of like Rogan being like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you're a nice guy kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And just not laying into him except for on a few things like the ivermectin shit. Where, by the way, ivermectin, the thing that he talked about taking when he got COVID, Rogan got COVID, went on and said, hey, I took ivermectin and did a through the kitchen sink with a bunch of meds prescribed by my doctor. Everyone goes, oh, it's fucking horse medicine. It's at goddamn Walgreens. Like, it's been around. It's used for humans more than horses. I don't,
Horse Walgreens. But
yeah.
Walgreens.
Well, horse Walgreens.
Nay. Nay.
So this is a weird timeline, and then now something comes out. This is very odd, right? The Neil Young thing happens. Spotify says, fucking get lost. We don't need you. Neil Young has his own streaming platform. So that sounds like a PR move to me. And then this compilation of N-bombs that's been around for a while, actually.
Sure, since the 1800s.
Well, there's a compilation of Rogan saying the N-word, but in reference to quoting someone saying it,
Right.
right? And so you can take that out of context, easily the most loaded word in America
Sure, yeah.
by far.
I mean, to the point to where
I don't
even if I'm repeating, like trying to, know.
I don't even like to say Winnie the Pooh's friend that's a tiger.
Right.
His name, because that's too close.
Tiger.
Yeah, I call him T-Bomb.
Yeah, T-bomb.
Because look, if we
busy.
can make one thing straight on this show, we're N-bomb free. I'm pretty sure you can't find one on us.
No.
Well, I don't know. We could have been referencing someone saying it,
Oh.
but
I don't even think then.
because I don't even want to do that. Like
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even going to give that nugget a chance.
going to school in Alabama for college and like guys use it when they stub their toe and shit. Like just like
Right,
wow,
like,
you guys,
whoa.
you white guys really use this freely.
Yeah.
So did one of those compilations of him saying it. Spotify takes down all the episodes. There's like, if you go to jremissing.com,
Yeah.
you can see. I sent it to you
That's
on
a
Friday.
fun double whammy because then there's no context anymore to even have people judge for themselves.
Yep, that's
Just got to trust them.
Very good
Oh,
point.
it must have been bad.
Yeah,
We'll
so-
never know, though.
right. And the video's been around for a while, and now it gets steam. You know, like it's one of those things where like, why now?
Yeah.
It's odd.
Right.
And then it feels very news backed. Like if you look at the Louis C.K. story that broke, you can find the emails on Reddit of like New York Times people and other big publications like, okay, tomorrow's the day we're going to drop the hammer or something like that on the
Gross.
story, right? And it's
so
like,
gross.
cool, very cool, very cool. Fucking, if the news could just be news, that would be awesome.
Right.
You'd have higher ratings. If one of you
Yeah.
guys, or just make a fucking completely, Mark Cuban, make a news channel and just make it independent and literally just read the AP report.
Take the sociopathy that you use for humans and their lives, like Louis C.K. and destroying their lives, and apply it to your news topics, as in
We would watch. We don't watch
black
news.
and white.
We're-
Just there's no judging on it. You just report it.
Here's my idea. You make a Rotten Tomatoes score that keeps the thing in check.
Yes.
You have
Now we're talking.
top critics. I don't know how you divvy that up fairly. Maybe you find
Yeah. Do you
people
know what
that-
happens though? Rotten Tomatoes is for did you like it or not?
yeah. Well, you can make it
Yeah, I like OAN.
political.
Yeah, I like it.
PolitiFact was supposed to be that, and
Right.
then it fizzled out because
That fake news is what they would say.
it got bought out. So someone just manipulated
Sure.
it immediately. So you got to have someone like Mark Cuban that has like fuck you money to throw at it. Someone that, or Elon Musk, right?
Sure.
But
yes.
they
yes.
think he's right wing, so it's like whatever. but you make it up to the crowd, right? We kind of talked about this with the Nielsen ratings. You get enough data, and you can figure out how to qualify. If it starts leaning to left, to right, producers can adjust it, kind of thing. But you keep it to the people, kind of thing.
Man.
Wisdom of Crowds, James Sarawecki book.
Wow.
Yeah, read that when I was trying to be smart one day.
I wish
Most of
people would not apply emotion to what you're talking about, and
well, they can still have that. They can
Right,
still have
but-
their teams.
but
The tribalism's crazy, but I really think most of us live in the gray.
I don't know, man. I used to think that way, and just lately, it's like,
I think
everybody
when you-
has an opinion, huh?
Well, when you really break down a lot of people, they have opinions, but you really drill down the opinion they have, and it's like baseless, and they'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah,
They just
right. I used to do that shit.
Sure.
I used to
Oh,
be like,
everybody
explain to me
does.
how that works. And now I don't even want to do that.
Well,
because there's no, it's not, if you do like point out how stupid they're being, guess what? You're a dick.
no, you.
And now I don't want to talk politics with you because you're just going to make me feel like an asshole.
Well, if your approach is like a cokehead in a bathroom, like, what does that mean?
That's not,
No,
I'm
I
just
know. It's just funnier to think that.
fast tracking it.
Just grinding your teeth. What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if I just asked, like, because I'm a C+ student for life that has to try harder, I come at it from a dumb
Go
perspective.
Columbo style.
Sure. Timely reference. Columbo.
Okay, Mr. Supermarket Sweep for 15 minutes.
It had more to do with the American zeitgeist than Columbo. That's for sure.
You worked Zeitgeist in. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, guys.
Nice. So, but my thing is, like, I always come at it from, like, I don't know. Things.
Right.
And now the older I get, the more I realize, like, what I thought I was absolute knowledge to me, I don't know. I'll open the door to whatever.
Sure, you have to.
And come at it that way and just go, oh, what do you think that is? Or,
It's the big game of wisdom where the older you get, the wiser you are, the more you realize you don't know.
or just to have that, I think you get wiser about that discussion, right? So it's like, but what are we at the fucking census? We're going to do this to everybody?
Yeah.
My thing always used to, what I found out like a couple of years back, I'd ask people, what do you think fiscally conservative, socially liberal means? And that was interesting because I think most people think they live there, and then you break that down, and that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like the range that you'll find. So your homework, listeners, because we're closing this out. We got shit to do. You got to go do dad stuff.
Yes.
I've got to write a set list from scratch, basically.
Are you doing new stuff tonight?
I told you off mic. I'm gonna cobble a bunch of these like floating one-liner
Kind of
bits.
new
And
stuff, okay.
I think I can kind of theme it
All right.
and into
Just
like
curious, given the scenario.
the feast or famine scenario of taking a
Yep.
girl you're dating
Yeah.
to see her for the first time, do stand up.
And
I already told her,
she's got a friend going too, right?
but yeah. So
That could be. I mean,
look, if
let's hope the friend isn't too
there is
influential.
a 50% chance I bail and just do material I know works.
I know, but aren't you afraid they'll call you? The host that we know will call you out.
Well, he'll call me out, but like, I can just be like, I need reps. I'll do 5 minutes on pickled egg jars.
I
Like,
hit him up. Tell him to give you a hard time.
please don't, because he'll
Now
tell
I kind of want to.
He'll tell the other comics. And
I know.
No, the
Well-
worst is because they're my good comedian buddy friends. I could see them in the back of the room, like what are you
Rolling
doing?
your eyes.
wasting your time doing this. No, I'll try some new
Well,
stuff.
I
out.
brought a girl.
There
we go.
I already prefaced
Tampa
it
X
to her.
again.
I already prefaced it to her that I was like, if I bomb, this is I'm going to be
This doesn't
really
count.
unfuckable.
Doesn't
but
count.
I'm going to try new shit, so you got to kind of grade on a curve, like my penis.
Right.
Peyronie's disease. Do you know that's what it's
Perfect.
called?
No, but I feel
The
like
90-degree
90 degrees.
or like
Holy
those
shit, that's
those
a left turn.
Yeah, those dicks. they
Well,
can
I'm
go
sure
up,
that they're
down.
all over the road.
Like a
But
hitchhiker's-
90 degrees that's a damaged wiener.
That's Peyronie's disease. Did you know we could still get it? I thought it was a
Don't
thing
say
you're born,
that.
we're born with. Yeah. So all you hypochondriacs out there, when you're buying beer, get Peyronie's and think about your
Get your
J-
level out.
Yeah.
Every day. Is this thing straight?
Oh, I've got a good angle.
Not plumb.
If we're doing geometry style, but it doesn't curve on its own or anything yet.
Can only hope.
Yep,
All right.
like cauliflower ear for your dick.
What about my sweat equity? Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?